Hello friends, welcome to my channel PTE Zone. In this video, I will be telling you the strategies and methods to follow in the Describe Image section of PTE. By following these tips and strategies, you can easily achieve a score of 90 in speaking section without any doubt. To start with, I would like to share my PTE scorecard. You can see I have a overall score of 86 points, and in speaking I have achieved a perfect 90 score. I could get this score in my fourth attempt, though in my first two attempts I even struggled to cross a score of 79 plus. I know how frustrating it gets when you don't get the score you desire. So about Describe Image section, it is considered to be the most difficult section out of all these questions type in a speaking section. And the reason why it is considered difficult is that because you need to speak continuously for 40 seconds while understanding the graph, and there are different types of graph. For example, there are pie chart, bar graph, line graph, process, picture, or maps. So there are a lot of different type of graph that you need to understand and also to speak about it with giving an overview and also the conclusion and point out the main things. So it requires a lot of practice, and it takes you a lot of time to master this type of question, and even after doing a lot of practice you don't feel very confident of doing this question perfectly in the real exam. In fact, I too used to struggle a lot in this section in my first two attempts. I did a lot of preparation and practice, but it didn't work out. I used to stress too much on content, which made my fluency go down. And it's obvious that if you're thinking and speaking together, you won't be very fluent. But when I understood what was required for this particular type, I realized that I wasted a lot of time in this section, which I could have utilized in other important sections. So now I consider it the easiest section, and I think it requires the least amount of practice. So don't waste your time in this section. Understand what is required and what are the things that need to be focused to achieve a good score in this section. It will save you a lot of time and effort. So now I will show you how this question type looks like in exam. So you can see it will show you a graph, it will show you the timer. So as soon as this graph is visible to you, your preparation time starts, and you are given 25 seconds for that. So in 25 seconds you need to prepare yourself, and as soon as you hear a beep you should start speaking till 38 to 40 seconds, right? So you will hear this kind of beep, and then you can start speaking. So the important thing here is that in the preparation time of 25 seconds, you need to make sure what is the heading of this graph, what type of graph it is. For example, the current graph is bar graph, right? You can also get a line graph. So you need to make sure what type of graph it is, what are the three things that are showing. For example, it is showing about the days, it is showing the chip production in thousands, what is the maximum, what is the minimum. So these important things, important points you need to understand and remember, so that once you start speaking you don't fumble in between and you don't think in between. So when you hear a beep, just start speaking, right? So that's the key to score good in this section. So you will get around 7 to 8 questions of this type, and you will get 25 seconds for preparation for each and every question, and you should speak for around 35 to 38 seconds to give your answer. Now you should, when you are practicing and doing your preparation at home, you should actually prepare for only 20 seconds instead of 25 seconds, so that even in the real exam when you're giving it 25 seconds, you are very comfortable and you are able to collect and point out the important information in those 25 seconds, right? Other thing is the scoring part for this section. So scoring is almost similar to all the other question in speaking section, that is fluency, pronunciation and content. But please make sure that fluency is the key for this section. In fact, fluency is the key for all the section in speaking section of PTE. Especially in this section, don't worry about the content too much, because content is important, but when you are speaking and if you tell what type of graph it is, and if you read the heading, if you read the x and y axis, and if you just tell the maximum minimum, it is enough. So focus more on the fluency, and content part you will automatically say when you are saying the heading, the maximum minimum and all these things, right? So don't think about content. I made this mistake in my first two attempt. I was too much worried about the content. I used to think I have to be accurate. So, you know, when I was thinking about the correct thing, I used to lose my fluency. So this is a mistake most of people are making. They are focusing too much on content. So don't worry about the content. Just be fluent and remain on the topic. So it will work fine. So my advice is don't think about the content, right? So now how to crack this particular type in PTE exam. So the key is a good template. You need to have a good template. You should make your own template for this particular type and learn that template by heart. As I mentioned in my previous videos, that for speaking you need to be fluent. For fluency you need to be fast, clear and without break. That means if you are a non-native speaker, you need to tell computer that you are fluent. And if you speak for at least 80 words in the given 30 to 40 seconds, then computer will think that you are a fluent speaker. The more words you speak in the given 40 seconds, it would be better actually. It will fetch you more marks. You need to make balance between the pace of speed of your speech and your pronunciation. In fact, I have talked about this particular pace of speed thing in my previous videos. So you can go and have a look at my previous videos where I have talked about the speed with which you should speak so as to get the maximum score from PTE exam. Okay, so to be fluent in this section, you need to have your own template. So out of 40 seconds, you speak for 25 seconds from your own template and rest 10 to 15 seconds from the given question or graph. So the point is that you need to have your own template for each and every type of graph. For example, for pie graph you have one template, for line graph you have other template, for bar graph you have other. So similarly with all the different types, you need to have a template. So in the given exam, in the real exam, you will just, as soon as you see the graph, you will know okay which type of graph it is, and then you will just start speaking your template that you have already learned by heart. So the important thing here is that you need to learn your template by heart, and you need to just fit the heading and the three main points from the given graph. With practice you can master this method, and once you do enough practice you will find this section extremely easy, and you will not even require to do more practice for this section. You just, you know, you need to just remember the template, and you can just fit in only the few words in the real exam. I will also share my templates that I used in my coming videos. Since now you know the importance of template, you should create your own template. You can go through internet and YouTube. You'll find lot of templates for Describe Image. You should read all those templates and prepare your own unique template. right? So it is not difficult, it is a easy thing to do. Just make a good template and learn it by heart. So once your template is ready, now you can utilize your preparation time of 25 minutes in just understanding the graph. So the important points that you need to do in the preparation time is that you need to know the type of graph, whether it is a bar graph or a pie chart or a line graph or a process or a map. So you need to first figure that out. Second thing is you need to know what the heading is. You need to understand what the heading is. And other thing is you need to make sure what is the maximum, what is the minimum, and what is the general trend. If possible, you should also find out the conclusion, the concluding statement, because the conclusion is important in this section. So always try to add a conclusion in your speaking. The thing is, a lot of people find it difficult to find conclusion in the given 25 second, and in fact I had this problem in the given 25 second. I was not able to figure out the conclusion. So what I did is that I have created a concluding line which was a generalized line, and I used that line in every question of this section actually. So you can also make a concluding statement which you can use in every question of this type. It doesn't matter. I even though I use the same type of template and the same type of, I mean, a lot of lines were same in each and every question, even though I got 90. So you can also use the same thing. And this also proves that content is not very important in this section. So be fluent and learn the template. First prepare a template and then learn your template by heart, and then practice by adding the words from the graph to your own template. So you need to practice all these things, right? So now I will summarize all the important points that I mentioned in this video. So the first point is templates. You should create your own template and you should learn it by heart. Once you remember your template, when you are speaking, you will not stop in between and you will be fluent throughout. You would be just adding few points from the given question graph, and rest of the things you would be speaking from your own template. So this thing will make you extremely fluent and will fetch you a good marks in this section. Other thing is that you should speak for 35 to 38 seconds, because the more you speak, the more marks you will fetch. Other thing is that since you need to show the PTE algorithm or software that you are fluent, so the way you can do that is by speaking at least 80 words in the given 35 to 38 seconds. So if you are speaking more words, it will be better, but at least try to get 80 words. And I have already mentioned you need to be fluent, which means there is no break in your voice and you are speaking as clearly as possible. So just practice all these things, and yes, when you are practicing, you should practice with only 15 to 20 seconds of preparation time instead of the given 25 seconds of preparation time, so that you will understand that how to get the three important information from the graph, right, in just 20 seconds. So these three information are the heading, the maximum, minimum, the overall picture, and the conclusion. I mean, all these things. You should learn these things. So you need to just practice all these things, and if you follow this method, I'm sure you will get a score of 90 in speaking section. I think that's it for this section. Feel free to ask questions, doubts, queries, and also provide your suggestions. You can mail me at connect.pte@gmail.com. And best of luck. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. It will definitely motivate me to make more videos. Thank you.